Okay, so we are gonna start. You'll wanna have your stretching band close by. It could be a towel, long band, something to hold on to, but we're gonna start lying on our backs this morning. Find a nice place you can just relax, start breathing. Breathing deeply. Hopefully you're already breathing this morning. We're going to use our breath to clean out and energize. Take some breaths into the rib cage and some breaths into the belly. Oh, we got another one wandering in. Thanks for joining us, Virgil. Let's go ahead and bring those knees into the chest. We'll rock it around. And then we're going to keep that right leg hugged in and stretch out the left. So you're just reaching down with that left leg, pointing your toes. And when you think you're at your max, you're going to reach a little further with the leg. Just press it down. Deep breath in. And then exhale, we'll come up and switch. Extend that right leg. And then inhale and reach it a little further. Exhale, bring it back to center. We're going to go once more on each side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, switch. And then we'll meet back at center, hugging both those knees into the chest. Let those feet fall down onto the floor. Extending the left leg out and the right hand overhead. So you have opposite limbs reaching. Deep breath in while you reach. Hold that breath. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, let it go. We'll slowly switch sides. Getting into that alternating reach and then a nice big inhale. 3-second hold with the breath. Exhale, let it go. And then we're going to take both feet down, both hands overhead, nice long stretch. Fingertips and toes reaching away from each other. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Softening to relax. So we're back in just a lying down position. You can move your hands wherever you like them. Rest them on your belly, down by your sides. Find something comfortable. We're just going to wiggle those feet around at the ankles. Bring the bottoms of the feet together, turning your knees slightly outward. So kind of a butterfly stretch there. You're going to let those knees relax as they fall towards the floor. It's going to stretch your adductors a little bit. We're going to take those hands all the way overhead, reaching fingertips up with a deep breath in. As we exhale, keeping the lower body where it's at, you're going to go ahead and slide the hands down like they would come for heart center, but you're going to stop them right above the head. Open the elbows up out to the sides. So we have 2 little diamonds we're making with the knees and the elbows. Lifting that rib cage up. Arch of the back. Couple deep breaths here. And then we're going to fold those knees in towards each other. Bring those hands back down to a relaxed position. And we're just kind of swishing the legs side to side. Take your time with that as the midsection opens up. And then we'll get some non-lyrical music on for us. When you feel those hips softening up just a little bit, go ahead and slowly lower your knees to one side. And then you're going to open up like a T at the chest. You've got your knees one direction and your upper body open, and you'll just breathe into that. Stay there 10 more seconds. And then we'll take a nice deep breath in, lifting that rib cage as we breathe. You're going to tighten the belly button to bring those knees back over center and slowly lower to the other side. Pandora does not know my mood this morning. All right. Relaxing here, another 10 seconds or so. Exhale deeply, pull that belly button inward and slowly bring the knees back to center and pull them all the way up and into the chest. And then we're going to go ahead and stay on the floor, but you're going to reach for your band. You want a nice long band. Get this into virtual here. We're going to wrap that around your right foot. So that we're lying down on our back and we've got that band wrapped around one foot. For our left foot, we'll go ahead and plant it in the floor so that leg is bent. With this right side, you want to give a little bit of tug on the band where you can use it to kind of passively pull that hamstring, bring that foot closer to your face, and then let it go. We're going to bring it all the way down to the floor and back up. When you get to the top, you're pulling it in just a little further than it wants to go. Go at your own pace. You should find it loosening up a little bit. Maybe you can go a little further at the top each time or every other time. And the next time you get to the top, we're going to go ahead and hold it there. Holding it in where you've got some healthy tension and you're breathing through it. Use that exhale to relax everything but that hamstring. The hamstring is working a little bit. Staying in this position, you'll drag your toes towards the face a little bit, heel up, toes down. Let that calf feel the stretch. And then we're going to maintain this level of stretch on the hamstring while you pulse that foot up and down. So we bend, flex, and extend. Coming back to a nice still position, we're going to take a deep breath in Big deep breath, and as you exhale, you'll slide that left foot down. And then holding onto this band with your left hand or the opposite hand, whatever side you're on, you're going to slowly bring that foot across midline and take your opposite hand out for stabilization. Yeah, explore that space with your hip. Go just as far as your body wants to go. Virtual's getting a nice look at the bottom of my foot. There we go. Take it down as far as it wants to go. Doesn't matter where you need to stop as long as it feels like a healthy stretch for you. And then breathe into it. We're going to hang out here for about 30 seconds. We want to give it good time. Deep breath in. As we exhale, you're going to bend that knee on your stretching side. Just bend the knee softly, tighten up the tummy, and come back to center. We're going to keep that leg bent. You're going to switch hands on the band, and you're going to open that leg towards the outside, keeping it bent a little bit. So we have some hip flexion, some adductor stretch. Deep breath in. Exhale, extend that leg out straight. And once you've got it straightened out, you're going to see if you can pull it up just a little bit higher, meaning foot closer to the head. Use that breath. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bending that knee again, pulling that tummy in tight. As you bring the whole leg into center, we're going to grab a hold of the leg instead of the band, pulling that knee in towards the chest, and then slowly bringing that knee over towards the opposite shoulder. I'm just going to kind of hug it, hold on to it as you pull it across your body. Fifteen more seconds with deep breaths. One more deep breath in. As we exhale, you're going to release your grip, soften everything up, and just roll your hips until that bent knee is working its way towards the floor. And you can roll with it, so you don't have to resist it. We're just lying on our side. Scoot back a little bit. Lie here for a moment and relax. Couple deep breaths. We're going to get back to the band in a moment, but don't worry about it for the time being. We're going to take the foot that had the band in it, should be your top foot, stretch it out nice and long. You're going to try to extend that leg longer than the leg underneath it, just reaching with it. Side lying stretch here. We're going to maintain that stretching of the upper leg, keeping it long, but we're going to let it just kind of fall behind. Just drag your foot behind, let it fall down to the back side. And then we're going to slowly bend that leg, so you're just kicking the foot back, bending the knee. If that knee goes to the floor, great. If it doesn't, kind of reach for it. Should feel some deep stretch in front of or over the top of the hip, maybe behind it. Deep breath in, reaching overhead with that top hand. Woo. Relaxing into a little bit deeper side stretch. Imagine that you're driving that back knee down towards the floor and lifting that top hip up towards the ceiling. One more deep breath in. And we exhale, relaxing that arm, softening the leg, bringing it back to a stacked position. Make sure you feel comfortable and loose at the core. Tighten up and roll back to center. Yes, please. Can we do the other side? Woo. Both knees into chest for a moment. Rock it around. And then both feet onto the floor. We're going to keep those heels in nice and tight to the body. Drive your shoulders and elbows down a little bit, so walk yourself in close and then bridge up, lifting those hips. You want to be able to walk even a little more, really push that bridge up and those knees forward. Deep stretch on that front line. Good job. You can move around in it if you like or hold it static. We're here 10 more seconds. And then gently softening, lowering hips towards the floor, walking the shoulders back out. Make sure everything feels soft and safe. And then we're going to put that band on the opposite foot. Following sides, it's left side here. We're going to put our right foot into the floor. Get a little bit of grip on that band so you can pull your foot in a little bit closer than comfort. And then we're going to take it up and down. Nice sweeping motion here. We relax down to the bottom. Bring it up to the top. Give it a little bit of stretching tug. Next one, we're going to meet at the top. Pulling it into you, feel a good healthy stretch. Breathing into it. Lifting that heel, pulling the toes down just a little bit, adding some calf in there. And we're going to go ahead and give it some motion, bringing those toes up and down, flex and extend the foot as you maintain that hamstring stretch. We'll return it to a neutral resting position. Deep breath into that stretch. Exhale. We're going to go ahead and slide our right leg down. going to take the opposite hand on this band and slowly travel that leg across the body. Shouldn't take much to start finding that lateral stretch, hip stretch. Go where you want to go with it. Using your breath to relax the body into the stretch. Nice deep breath in. As we exhale, you're going to bend that knee just a little bit. Use the core, tighten it up to bring yourself safely back towards center. You're going to keep this leg bent, switching hands on the band. You're going to open that bent leg out to the side. Find a good stretch there that challenges your adductor a little bit. Deep breath in. Exhale and extend that leg out. So you're straightening that leg. Once you've got it straight, see if you can pull up on it a little bit. Maybe bring the foot a little closer to the head. Breath in. Exhale, you're going to bend that knee, softening a little bit and then tightening the core as you come back to center. You're going to let that band go and just grab a hold of the leg, bringing it in towards the chest and then pulling it across towards the opposite shoulder. Deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to slowly kind of roll onto our side, allowing this knee to come up and over, finding its way to the floor. But you're taking the shoulders with you, coming into a sideline position where you can just relax the body. Relaxing for a few breaths. Take a deep breath in. As we exhale, you're going to bring that top leg kind of on top of the bottom leg. We're stacking them. And then once they're stacked, you're going to extend it nice and long with that top leg longer than the bottom leg. Just push and feel that stretch through the hip. And maybe through the core and the low back. Using your breath to accept the stretch. Deep breath in. We'll slowly slide that foot over the back. See if you can rest on the floor right behind the bottom foot. And breathing into that one. Bend that leg, so you're bending As you inhale, you're pressing your knee towards the floor and reaching the hip towards the ceiling. A couple more deep breaths. Last inhale with a reach. Exhale, softening, or sliding the elbow or the knee back towards center. Once everything's stacked and safe, softening up and tighten the tummy to roll back to center. And then we're going to bring our knees towards our chest. Rock it all out. Nice job. You can take a moment for yourself if you'd like it or need it. Find yourself a yoga block. We're going to actually start on hands and knees with that block in front of us. So you can go the shortest side with that block or the next size up. Doesn't really matter. It's just kind of a preference. We're going to have our hips right over our knees and then our hands right underneath our shoulders. Just give you a little elevation through the back. And we're just going to go ahead and round up so we're pushing like we're pushing that block through the floor. Chin tucks into the chest, opening up space between those shoulder blades. Breathing into the space. As you maintain that space and use your breath, you're going to go ahead and try to draw the shoulders down towards your hips, but keep them spread apart. And once you've gone to where your body's going to go with that, you're going to lift the back of the head towards the ceiling a little bit. Breathe into all that space. One more deep breath in. Exhale, softening everything up. Wiggle it out. We're going to take this block, set it down nice and flat if it's not already. We'll go under one knee. So left knee if you're following me. You're going to extend out with the right knee, so you want some space between the legs here. Turn so she can halfway see me. And you're going to shift most of your weight towards the knee that's on the floor as we press back. So you're kind of pressing down. You've got some elevation on the stretching side. You can rock in it a little bit. We just want some pressure on that adductor. Press into your stretch and hold it. Deep breath in. Full exhale. 2 more deep breaths. And then use your hands to soften that stretch. We're going to close up that space between the knees. Sinking back into a child's pose. Wiggle those hips around. reset that block under the opposite knee. So once you're there, you're going to create a good amount of space between the legs. Don't go to your maximum, but do extend a little bit. You want to have enough space that you can kind of shift your weight towards the floor side knee and then press back. Feeling that stretch in that block side adductor, you're just going to kind of wiggle those hips, maybe rock in and out, very small motion. Push back into the stretch, hold it and breathe deeply for 3 breaths. And use your hands, will soften that stretch. Whew. Take that block right back to the other side. So this time we're going to keep, if you're following my sides, your right knee is going to stay underneath you. Blip, 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 talking glitch. And then you're going to have your left knee on the block. We're going to go ahead and slide that right leg down so that we're kind of lying flat and our leg is out to our side, slightly elevated on the block. Make any adjustments you need to have a comfortable stretch, comfortably uncomfortable. And then once you're there, we're going to take our shoulders and our rib cage and walk a little bit away from that block. Rest yourself into that stretch. Pressing those hips towards the floor. Deep breath in. As we exhale, we're going to walk that torso back towards center. Once you're at center, you're going to come up onto your elbows, or at least just lift a little bit. You want to lift that chest against the stretch. Lifting up and your pelvis is sinking down. Deep breath in. Exhale, lying ourselves back down once more. We're going to stay relatively in this position, but you're going to roll onto your right shoulder and reach that left arm overhead. So we're in a bit of a stretch we were kind of in before. Big reach. And if you want to challenge this stretch a little bit more, you're just going to try to open that shoulder. Deep breath in. Exhale, softening things up, closing things down. We want to bring our hands in close to the chest so that we can push up onto that block. There you go. We're going to keep this knee on the block, walking our other foot all the way around to the front so that we can come into that deep hip flexor stretch. Keep your inside hand on the floor. We're going to reach forward with that outside hand, same as the forward foot, and then open yourself up. Just twisting around down, both hands to the inside. And then pushing that hip a little bit closer to the floor. You can create a little wiggling movement on that front leg if you like. You can push that knee in and out, or you can just hold it static. Deep breath in. Exhale, use those hands to walk yourself back to safety and then slide out of the stretch. And switch that block to the other side. Those of us that have to make long road trips today, I'm doing a favor for. Getting those hips all opened up before they sit and sit and sit. All right. We're gonna put that right knee on the block or opposite side. You want your left leg underneath you, slide it back, or coming down into that lying position with your right leg rotated out. Once you feel somewhat rested onto the block, we're gonna take our upper body, shoulders, and walk it away from the block. And then find a spot you can just relax into. Deep breath in. Exhale, walking it back towards the center. When we get to center, we want to kind of lift up a little bit onto the elbows, or at least lifting the chest. Consciously pressing those hips down, pelvis into the floor, ribs up. Deep breath in. Exhale, we're going to lie it back down and gently kind of bring that bottom shoulder underneath, so you're turning towards that bent leg. We'll reach that top arm overhead. Into the stretch and the reach. Exhale, softening, rolling everything softly back to a center position where you can get your hands under the chest. Slide yourself up out of that stretch. Keeping the same knee on the block, we're going to work our way around so you bring that back leg to the front. And we're in a nice deep hip stretch. Just focus on that lower body, pressing the hip towards the floor. We're just going to make sure we keep this opposite hand on the inside. Same side hand as your front leg is going to reach forward. And then open up to the back. Still driving those hips towards the floor. Shoulder is open. Deep breath in. Exhale, closing it down. We'll bring both hands to the inside and then just really sink down. Add movement with that front knee if you like it. Or you can just drop into the floor, melt yourself into the floor. Deep breath in. Exhale, walk yourself back out of this gently. Ooh, we're gonna come into kind of a seated position on the mat. Let's sit on our right hip. We have the block close to our feet. You want your right foot on the block and your right hip supporting you. So you've got some options here. What we want is to feel that stretch come through this right side of the body, underneath the ribs, maybe up over the hip. So if you have your top leg behind you, you'll feel it one way. You can turn and stack more if you like that, or you can bring this leg in front of you. So there's all kinds of variations here. You just want to find a stretch that feels productive to you on that TFL. So work your way into it, play around in it. Using your breath. So wherever you are in this stretch, transition as needed. We want this top or back leg to kind of rest down. You want to rest the knee on top. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our torso forward towards the floor. So you're kind of walking yourself down. Keeping that bottom leg straight and lifted on the block. Once you're down on the floor, you can walk in towards that foot a little bit. You should feel a nice little stretch. Heat up the outside of that leg. Deep breath in. We're going to use our hands as we exhale to push ourselves up, keeping that same foot on the block. We're going to roll so that we're sitting on both hips, and we have this side or our block side still elevated. Sliding your extra leg. Nice and extra leg. And then we're going to just lean forward into that stretch. How did we end up back at hamstrings, right where we started? Softening them up. Use that breath to try to relax. So we're focusing on those exhales more than the inhales. On the inhales, we expand and stretch, but we're going to focus on those exhales, really relaxing, accepting that heat in the hamstring. One more nice exhale. We'll just bring ourselves back up. Soften that leg around a little bit, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other side of the body. So our block's going to go under the opposite foot, but we want to sit on that hip. So left foot's on the block, left hip is supporting us. You want that foot underneath you nice and, or that leg underneath you nice and straight, and then it's up to you where you go with that stretch. If you like the leg back, down, over, above, you decide. nice deep breath into the stretch. As we exhale, you might soften it up a little bit. We want to go ahead and take our knee wherever it's at and kind of stack it on top. And then we're going to do a forward lean, taking our chest and shoulders towards the floor right in front of us, keeping that stretching leg nice and straight. Once you feel comfortable closer to the floor, you're going to walk yourself in. And find a little heat on the outside of that leg. Breathing into it. You can make some small little movements through the hips or the stretching of the heel. Little tiny things will adjust this stretch, so feel free to always play around with your space. See what you can create. Deep breath in. We're going to exhale using our hands to help push the body up a little bit. We're going to roll and rock onto both hips so that we're seated in that nice hamstring stretch. Both legs straight, one elevated. Once you're cozy, take a deep breath in. Exhale, slide forward. Keeping the chest tall here, nice straight back. Exhales. One more deep breath. Exhale, sliding yourself up out of it. Nice job. We're going to lose that block. Set it aside for a moment. We'll take our legs just a little bit wider. And actually grab your long band if you still have it close by. We'll go ahead and hook it around our right foot. And we're going to lean our body towards that foot. You don't want to turn completely where we're going chest towards the toes. You just want to somewhere in between a straight lean and a side lean. Bring yourself down. And we're going to adjust to this stretch for about 20 seconds. We're going to add a little bit of work through the rib cage here. So we're going to take our left hand opposite of the foot. We're going to grab a hold of that band and you want to bring your arm up and over so you're kind of tucking your head underneath this shape that you're making. You can go as tight or as much stretch as you want with that, but what we want to do is try to get the back hand underneath and reaching over. So there's variations of this and levels you may get to. That's fine. You want to twist through that rib cage with your lateral flexion. Find what works for you. Stretches the shoulders and the ribs a little bit. Deep stretch here if you're working for it. Use that inhale. Use that exhale. 2 more breaths. And roll through those shoulders. Soften that stretch up. Gently coming out of it, especially if you were working hard. leave the band for a moment. Come up to center, slide those ribs side to side. Take those shoulders coming to center here, one shoulder up, one down. So many ways we can move. And we'll relax the shoulders, the ribs and the hips, and we're going to do an ear raise. So right ear up, relax, and then left ear up. Reaching your ear for the ceiling. That's a small, subtle movement also. Minimal tilting of the head, maximum stretching of that side muscle. Side. As you press that ear up, you're going to press the same side shoulder down and hold. Couple nice breaths. And we'll slowly relax and then switch to the other side. Same thing. Lift that ear and then drop the shoulder. Slowly relax. We're going to move our band to the other side. Same thing, we're going to just go ahead and let the body drop towards the foot. Somewhere between straight and lateral. Just kind of lean that rib cage, that side of your rib cage towards the knee. Focus our attention on that opposite hand. So if it's left foot, it's right hand, or vice versa. You're going to bring that elbow kind of up and over your head as you turn the shoulders underneath. Working towards a full reach, and you can go as tight or as challenging as you want with that. Just create a little bit of twist where we're opening those shoulders up. Top shoulder up, bottom shoulder down. Should be a deep stretch, and we're working through it with our breath. Great job. One more deep breath in. Exhale, soften everything and just roll yourself to a safe place. Take your time. We're going to come up to center once again. We're going to take our arms and just let them flow. We're going to twist the shoulders over one direction and then twist them to the other. Back to center. We're going to go ahead and soften the legs and bend them cross-legged underneath us. You won't need your band. So we don't have to think about that lower body. It doesn't have to work too much. We're going to take our right hand out in front of us. We're going to cross it across the body, lift up so that you can bring it across a little further. Your gaze is going over that shoulder. So your gaze is going in the opposite direction that the shoulders are twisting. You can modify this however you need. Just want to feel a stretch that you can kind of actively, passively, if that makes sense. One part of you is actively pulling the stretch so that that part of you can relax into it. Couple more breaths working into this stretch. And then that straight arm, you're going to go ahead and bend it back towards you. If you can get a hold of the shoulder or behind the neck, up around the back, totally up to you. You're going to wrap yourself up, and then we're going to drop this front shoulder down towards the lap. Just leaning down with it. See if you can find somewhere that you can relax into that stretch. If you are able to get a grip on yourself with that back hand, you want to kind of pull the skin of your body forward. Deep breath in. Exhale, let it go softly, wiggle it out. Roll those shoulders. We'll go one more time to the other side. Taking that left arm out straight, bring it across, and then work it across into an active passive stretch. Gaze goes over that shoulder to the back in the opposite direction. Soften that arm, bending it, getting a hold of the body, or just wrapping yourself up. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling this working shoulder down towards the center of the lap. Deep breath in. Exhale, soften everything. We'll come into final stretch here today. We're going to roll those shoulders out. And we're going to take our palms out in front of us, open them up, draw the fingers back, little stretch of the arms before we go into this. Deep breath in. Exhale, relaxing those hands. We're going to bring them up towards the back of the head. So right over where the top of the head transitions into the back. Elbows stay pointed ahead. We're going to drop the elbows down just slightly, and then you're going to press your head into your hands. Feel that bottom back of the neck or top back of the neck stretching. Take some deep breaths. Maintaining that stretch, you're going to try to draw the shoulders down a little further away from the ears. One more deep breath in. Exhale, gently soften before you unwind. Open those hands out. Stretch those shoulders forward. Deep breath in. Exhale, draw the shoulders back, open the chest. Holding this while we inhale. And then we exhale, hands back out and open up. You are done. Ah, happy Friday, my friends. I know. Feels wonderful.
That was great. My legs were sore from Wednesday's workout, so that was perfect.
Ah, you and everyone else. Good. Good. Hopefully we opened them up.
Yeah. Happy
Well,
road
have
trip
a
today.
wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Happy road trip.
Thank you.